Quite impressive. They make that 41 kills of Americans. Good to see some support weapons for the American, but I do believe it's a bit too late at this moment. So we'll have to see what he can do, and what in fact could he do. Well, he could stop doing all of these human wave attacks and try something a bit more calculated and a bit slower in the assault. Riflemen being killed in great numbers because, again, moving them out right in the middle of nowhere in an attempt to drop sticky bombs off is not a good idea. Losing heavily to this Jagd Panther firing away. Sounds like I lost a unit. Oh dearie me. The venerable Jagd Panzer IV was lost. What remains is a wreck with a few armored skirts still stuck on it. Anti-tank gun a bit forward. Looks like it was one to get the kill actually. Must have forgotten it in all of the fun. Rangers getting close to these Panzer Grenadiers might not look good for either side. Although the Panzer Grenadiers certainly have the advantage with all their veterancy. Further fighting around this point. Not entirely sure where the mortar is. Might have been knocked out actually. Yes indeed it was there. Further fighting right here as I attempt to clear out this medic station, although no such thing at the moment. Panzer Grenadier setting up, and a heavy machine gun setting up to provide cover for these riflemen who are again standing out in the open. Oh good lord, Mr. Wingforce, please do try to use cover in the future. It's for the benefit of your men and for America. And we see the Hetzer moving in, decisively blasting away at the crew and killing it quite spectacularly. Quite unexpectedly. Panzer Grenadier setting up to repulse another major American assault, although as you may have noticed throughout this match, they have gotten smaller and smaller as the teams are being slowly wiped out, and even the medic stations can't keep up with this rate of attrition because he does not use cover. He constantly neglects it, it seems like, and just moves in large blobs, which if handled properly can easily be wiped out, or at least with some ease. And we hear more howitzer shells landing in. Not entirely sure where. There we go, apparently trying to once more knock out that Jagd Panther. He's quite focused on it. The Jagd Panther currently being a bit like the King Tiger. He needs more of a mental weapon than an actual weapon. Constantly being on his enemy's mind, or his mind in fact, while sneaking about and knocking out any tanks with ease, and of course being a nuisance to infantry as well with its large caliber gun. Panzer Grenadiers moving out to knock out the medic station. Medic station in fact almost wrecked by these Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go, medic station wrecked. There's only one left. Rangers, riflemen and flamethrower engineers once more surging forward in an attempt to save things and prevent the 17th SS from holding the line. The Jagd Panther from the 503rd Schwerer Panzerjägerabteilung, in fact. The Jagd Panther being equipped a bit like the Tiger and King Tiger in special companies, where they could easily be placed where they will felt needed by the high command and not so much part of actual divisions or corpses, or field corps. So there you go. Jagd Panther blazing away, although engine damage, but still opponent quite focused on it instead of all the infantry nearby, although looks like these Panzer Grenadiers will now be in a bit of a spot of trouble. Might want to get out of there. And Panzer Grenadiers getting out of there, and we see anti-tank guns slowly moving in to provide a defensive field of fire. Rangers moving, riflemen moving in as well, while Rangers are getting out of there. Going in to place a sticky bomb on the Hetzer. Panzer Grenadiers sprinting in for flanking maneuver, while the Panzer IV here is holding the central position, knocking out the anti-tank guns, slaughtering these riflemen. Medics desperately trying to get everything out of there, while howitzer rounds once more fire in, trying to knock out the Panzer IV. Hetzer holding back these riflemen, while this main force of Panzer Grenadiers are knocking out this medic station. Another team of riflemen out, but are quickly slaughtered by all of the assault rifles handled by the elite Panzer Grenadiers of the 17th SS. The things of the 1st Infantry Division really have gone sour. The large assaults have been beaten back, they have suffered heavy attrition and will probably not be able to continue the fight, and now I'm actually able to spot this hole in the defensive wall. The howitzer being quite exposed, incendiary grenades going off, clearing out the crew in seconds, while the rest of the troops are slaughtering away at these American troops. A lot of dead men, and now we see the Panzer IV moving in behind all of this fire, all this smoke, all of this death. As we see numerous Panzer Grenadiers, Rangers and riflemen writhing in pain, holding their stomachs and whatever. And another off-map combat group moving in, further Rangers, further riflemen, and an M18 again. A lot of fire going off into this Panzer IV, and the Panzer IV probably will be knocked out. There we go, the M18 actually managing a kill, but heads are moving in, albeit engine damage. Will we see further Panzer Grenadiers, perhaps in Jagd Panther? And not many points left. And what is this? The sound of a heavy machine gun opening fire. And the howitzer still standing, blasting away once more. Apparently trying to hit some of my men on the retreat, but not having much luck. Rangers and M18 trying to hold the line, while Panzer Grenadiers, having grabbed an enemy 30 caliber machine gun, are blasting away. And there we go, Jagd Panther crashing through the barrage by becoming target of a howitzer barrage, but the Jagd Panther does not care. The Jagd Panther wants to destroy in the name of the fatherland, knocking out the M18, and now rearing down its loathsome 88mm high velocity gun on the rifleman, gaining veterancy 1 in the process, and using that for defensive purposes. 30 caliber machine gun blasting away at these Panzer Grenadiers, who do have a shell crater to protect themselves for at least a short while alongside their veteran sergeant. Heads are in a rear position. Only 7 points left for the Americans. Will they be able to turn the tide, or will they be forced to pull back in the face of the counter-attack from the 17th SS? Certainly looks like it. Infantry half-track still alive, in fact, which is a bit rare. Infantry half-tracks do have a tendency of being knocked out rather quickly, but still standing. Panzer Grenadiers moving in from the north as well, and there we go. This match is over. It was a victory for the 17th SS, securing a victory for the fatherland and buying the German forces in Normandy some time to gather for a counterattack. And we have quite a spectacular battlefield right here. Plenty of dead, wounded and wreckage. So what can we learn from this? Well, the usual: use cover, don't blob. I mean, it can sure be effective in the beginning, but if your opponent knows how to react to this using infantry by spreading out and of course using cover himself, then the effect of it will rather quickly be lessened. And of course, counter-attacking at the right point can be right excellent, since it means you'll be able to catch his troops all scattered about. What else to learn? Well, coordination between infantry and anti-tank guns. There were certainly a few times where he could have kept those anti-tank guns closer up to help against all of my vehicles and tanks, and at the same time there were times where the infantry really could have been helpful to keep those anti-tank guns safe. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match, and if you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends. This is ImperialDane saying, as always, use cover.